Think a gratitude practice is just about writing down things you're grateful for? Well, science says there's a little more to it. So let's dive in. Now, you may not realize it, but having a regular gratitude practice can provide so many benefits to your overall health and wellness. Not only can it help you with relationships to others as well as relationship to yourself, but it also has a lot of physical effects on your health. It can help to reduce inflammation, it can modulate your immune system, help lower your blood pressure, and it can help you become more resilient to stress as well as traumas, both past and present. And it can really help tame your own inner critic, interrupting that usual pattern of negative thoughts that you might be putting on replay. So now that you know what some of the benefits are, let's talk about what a gratitude practice really looks like. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I know what this is. You just write down some things that you're grateful for and you feel the feeling and then you go about your day and that's it. There's nothing wrong with this. I think this is a great practice, but the science says that there is actually a little bit more to it if you want to change the neural pathways associated in your brain. There's been some interesting research that says that one of the most effective ways to experience gratitude is to actually receive it for yourself. So meaning someone telling you that they're grateful for something. Now, in a regular practice, you're not just going to run up to people and ask for letters of gratitude or ask them to tell you what they're grateful about you for, right? But one of the things you can do is attach it to a story in which you have received gratitude in the past, or you can associate it with someone else receiving gratitude, which is kind of mind-blowing. It's almost like we can give gratitude to others. So what does this actually look like if you were going to put together a most effective gratitude practice for yourself? Well, it would mean associating a story and kind of writing out a little bit of a story. Now, this would mean it has to be a real feeling, a real time in which you receive gratitude and you can remember that and associate that. You might want to jot down a few bullet points about that and then bring up that feeling of gratitude. And interestingly enough, gratitude is also linked with the feeling of kind of joy and awe because they kind of happen in the same areas of the brain. So we don't need to separate out joy versus gratitude versus awe. You can kind of put them in one big lovely feeling. And along with that story, you want to realize kind of what the struggle was or what happened as far as what was the person overcoming if it was you or if it's somebody else that you're associating this with. And then what the intervention was, what did someone do in which they were grateful for, or what did someone do for you that made you grateful? And then what was the feeling associated with that? Or if it wasn't something that was for you, how does watching someone else experience gratitude, how does that impact you emotionally? So just kind of write out a few points about that. And now you've got your story so that when you now sit down to go into your gratitude practice, you can tap into those feelings and those emotions. So it's this association with the story of experiencing gratitude or receiving gratitude that studies are now showing are kind of one of the most effective ways to have a gratitude practice. And again, it doesn't mean that writing out things you're grateful for doesn't help or isn't important. Just talking about new developments or new ways to think about gratitude practice. Now, how do I do this? Like, I'm going to use myself as an example. If you've been on this channel before, you know I'm a huge fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza and his meditations, along with his week-long workshops. Now, one of the types of meditations you do is actually a healing meditation for someone else, unless you are the healee or person being healed. But during those experiences or during those meditations afterwards, you generally have a chance to talk with the person who you're helping to heal, and they're expressing so much gratitude to you. And for me personally, all I can think is no, thank you, because that feeling of gratitude that they're giving to you is so powerful, and you want nothing but to give it back. So when I am going into a meditation, what I will do is actually remember that story and tap into that feeling. And honestly, I can just feel it right in my heart center. So some people will focus on different parts of their body in their meditation, kind of where they're feeling the gratitude. And that's another way that they can tap into that feeling of gratitude. So for me, if I am going into a meditation and then start to tap into that area, it almost automatically brings up that experience for me because I've done it over and over again. Often a big question that I get when working with clients with their meditation or gratitude practice is, how do I know if I'm doing it right? One way that I actually like to measure and have practice with myself is actually using a biofeedback device. I use this one. It's called the M-Wave Pro. This is from HeartMath. I think they have other versions at this point in time, but this is a way to actually measure your heart rate variability. I actually have a whole video on meditation and heart rate variability and how that is connected with your nervous system and how that's again starting to change patterns in your brain as well. So if you want to learn more about that, you can click on that video. But biofeedback is a great way to kind of train yourself back into those feelings of gratitude and those elevated emotions as well. So adding something like that to a gratitude practice can be a really great option as well. So I hope that this video gives you a new way to look at a gratitude practice, or maybe tweak some things about your own gratitude practice. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.